This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Ron? Okay, Bruchim Aboim, Be'ezus Hashem, Tzeischem L'Shalom. Following the Chiddush of Rav Hubner Shlita, that if you give someone covet, it's a payback. Now that we give Moshe a little covet, he's going to owe us big time. And this is going to go by the minute. Somebody please clock it. Now, really a great yashikach to Rav Moshe. When we were discussing the idea, maybe a year and a half ago, it was a cholam. There was no semblance of realism in actually coming to Turkey, and we thank the Turkish government for their assistance in facilitating the trip. But Rav Moshe put in tremendous effort in gathering the people and really creating an itinerary. And I've been on many trips. It's not easy to keep to an itinerary, to make sure things kept moving, to make sure everybody was well fed and well taken care of, and Be'ezus Hashem going to arrive home safely. So we thank Rav Moshe and all the zechusim that we garnered by causing all the tzaddikim that say doivavos were mevarich Rav Moshe that in his mishpacha he should have only besuras toivos, gezint, nachas, v'mal Hashem kol mashas libcha l'toiva. So tonight's the Yahrtzeit of Semichas Chachomim. So first interesting thing you need to know is the Semichas Chachomim carried himself very royally. And it sort of raised the surprise of a lot of Gedolim. Why is he carrying himself this way? The Rishner said it's because he was a Gilgal of one of the Malchei Yehuda. But he himself answered the question. He said about himself, he is the Gilgal of Chizkiyahu HaMelech. Okay. By the way, on his last day, thousands of people here in the city gathered by the Semichas Chachomim, and he was megala to them who they were a Gilgal of, what their Sharish Neshama was, and he said only someone of a similar Sharish Neshama to him could be metapel in his guf. Two ideas from the Semichas Chachomim, one on the parasha and one in general. Famous Rashi. Rashi says in the beginning of the parasha, Va'era el Avraham el Yitzchak v'el Yaakov. What does Rashi say in those words? El Avraham el Yitzchak Yaakov, El ha'avos. No kidding. Really? Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov is the avos? We didn't know that? What's Rashi coming to be Mosif? Says the Semichas Chachomim. By the way, every good shir has to have a good commercial. This Tzeischem L'Shalom Seuda, this Seuda's mitzvah, is sponsored by Tri-State Commercial Real Estate Experts for your next real estate venture. And also, what? I am. I am. Lakewood Radio, almost every night. Kol Barama. Yeah, at least an hour a night. From Torah Anytime, from Rabbi. No? And also on the hour they play a shtickle vart. Why not? No, but I don't do it. Then also, one second. Eichler's a Borough Park. You could get all of Rabbi Hubner's Svarim there. All 10? How many Svarim? 10 Svarim. A lot of Svarim from Eichler's Bar. I don't know if they carry all of them, but they should. Call up Eichler's Bar, tell them to carry the Svarim. And now Rabbi Hubner owes me for that. Okay. What's Rashi being Mosif? Va'era el ha'avos. We all know Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov is the avos. What's Rashi coming to add? Says Rav Naftali Katz, says the Semichas Chachomim, Rashi is being Mosif a very big thing. Because you could ask, Va'era, the Rebbeinu Shalom appeared. What do you mean he appeared? He appeared Bekel Shakai. The Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't appear as a name. A name is written out. Yod Kei Vav Kei, Shakai. The Rebbeinu Shalom appears either Bas Baklaria HaMeira or Bas Baklaria She'ena Meira. So what do you mean Va'era la'avos Bekel Shakai? Says Rav Naftali Katz, that's what Rashi is bothered by. And Rashi is reading the pasuk. Va'era el Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, says Rashi, El ha'avos. Stop, pause. That's one idea. Bekel Shakai is another idea, but not Va'era Bekel Shakai. Va'era la'avos. And then Bekel Shakai is another oifen with which Rebbeinu Shalom encountered Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. So that's one vart from the Baal Semichas Chachomim. Vart number 2. Anybody know? Take a little trivia question. Zmiros on Shabbos. Why do we sing Zmiros on Shabbos? Do you have to sing Zmiros on Shabbos? It's just like a good thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. Does it say anywhere? It says in Shulchan Aruch. It says Sefer Chasidim, it's Doiraisa. You're mechuyev. It's a pasuk in the Chumash. What's the pasuk? It says, "Vayivarach Elokim es yom hashvi." God bless the seventh day. Now, what's the definition of bracha? So you have to go to Eov to determine what klala is. What's klala? So Eov says he cursed the day of his birth. He said there should be no song. So the definition of klala means no song. So what's Vayivarach Elokim es yom hashvi? Must be Zmiros. So Zmiros, according to Sefer Chasidim, is Dairaisa. Interesting. So before your meal is over, and you blow it, you have a kiyum Dairaisa. Make sure you sing something. If you don't have a good voice, what can you do? You're Oinus Rachmana Patre. Otherwise, not Zmiros, Anyway, maybe you should learn something. Zmiros Hayli Chukecha, but you should try. At least try. At least want to. But Tosfos in Sanhedrin says a different reason why we sing Zmiros on Shabbos. What does Tosfos say? It says every day of the week the Malachim sing Zmiros. How many kinafayim do the Malachim have? Sheish kinafayim. One for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Shabbos, there's no one to sing Zmiros. So we have to do it. That's the pshat. Mikinaf haaretz Zmiros shamanu. Mikinaf haaretz Zmiros. In other words, who sings to Ribono Shel Olam on Shabbos? Klal Yisrael. Fine, that's Tosfos. Comes on on Shabbos, we say Hakoil Yoiducha. Who's Hakoil? Hakoil l'Rabbois mi. Hakoil Yoiducha. You ever wonder? Anyone here ever daven on Shabbos? This we say Hakoil. Everyone thanks him. Just what does it mean? You ever think for a second? Who's Hakoil? Hakoil l'Rabbois mi. Says the Semichas Chachomim. There's a Medrash Pliya. Medrash Pliya says that on Shabbos Bereshis, Hashem gathered all the Malachim with Klal Yisrael, and they all praised Hashem. V'zehu shenemar Hakoil Yoiducha. What's the pshat? So he says, based on Tosfos and Sanhedrin, that the Malachim sing Shira every day of the week. Come Shabbos, they're out of commission because they have no knafayim left. So who has to sing Shira? Klal Yisrael. But the Malachim were created b'yom hasheni. So that means Shabbos Bereshis, they were able to sing Shira. And Klal Yisrael was able to sing Shira. So on Shabbos Bereshis, it's Hakoil Yoiducha l'Rabbois Yisrael v'hamalachim, says Rav Naftali Katz. So this coming Shabbos, when you say the words Hakoil Yoiducha, think about our trip, and now you know the pshat. Hakoil Yoiducha is on Shabbos Bereshis, it's the Malachi Ashores and Klal Yisrael. Now I tell you Ma'aseh Shahaya. A few people here were there. I'm not going to reveal anybody's identity unless they nod at me and they could say, I could say. Last trip, a different trip, we went to Ukraine. Where else did we go? Poland. Anyway. And our last stop was the city of Lemberg. The Kitzer, there's traffic there around the hotel. We can't get out of the city. And our last stop was the kever of the Taz, Shalom Eshiv, Shuas Yaakov. And I really wanted to go there. First of all, I have a kesher with the Shalom Eshiv. My grandmother knew a woman in the Holocaust who was a descendant of the Shalom Eshiv. She has a Shalom Eshiv's gartel. So I always grew up with the name Shalom Eshiv. The Taz Stam, who doesn't want to go to Shuas Yaakov. And so we could not get out of the city. So we jumped into cabs because we figured we'd be able to navigate without the bus. The Kitzer, there's so much traffic, it doesn't look like we're going to make the flight home. So there were a few taxis. I was in the top taxi. And even though Shlomi Kol didn't give me permission to say, so maybe I won't say it was him. But we were in the first taxi. And everyone's getting very nervous. Are we going to make it to the Shalom Eshiv and the Taz? The two taxis behind us, they had to go straight to the airport. And we were pushing, we got to go. I didn't come to the Ukraine to sit in a cab. If I don't go to the Taz, I came here to see the Taz. So at first it was 3-1. Yeah, we have to do it. We have to take a chance. Then it was 2-2. And basically, I was completely outnumbered. I said, I don't care, we're going. We're going to make it. And at one point, I just bowed down to the other guys, and I said, fine, let's go to the airport. 5 minutes from the airport, right? The driver said, you know what? I think I know how to go. He makes this right turn. All of a sudden, Kriyas Yamsuf, he clears up. He says, jump out of the car, run in between the hospital buildings, behind the hospital. And that's what we did. We ran. They said, you have 2 minutes, Glatstein. Get the camera going, get your video. And we run out to the Taz. So now, it wasn't even the kever. It was like, basically that was a nifneh. And there was a plaque. The plaque said, the Taz, Shalom Eshiv, Shuas Yaakov, and Rav Mordcha, Zev, Etinga. So I spoke about the Taz, I spoke about the Shalom Eshiv, I spoke about the Yeshuas Yaakov, and I'm embarrassed to say I did not know who Reb Mordechai Zev Atinga was. I should have, but I didn't. That Friday, this was during the 3 weeks, I gave a shir. I gave a shir on Wednesday and Friday. I spoke out a Gavaldige Kasha, the Kasha of the Mogen Gibarim. And I don't think I ever gave a shir on a Mogen Gibarim before. The Kasha is, I'm going to tell you the Kasha. The Kasha is, what do you mean, Kaisel is punished, Shalai Bercha B'Torah B'Tchila? But we know if you don't say Bercha Torah, you're Yahrtzeit B'Diavad with Avarabba or Avasoilam. So they said, Chazal don't say that they didn't say Avarabba, so they said Avarabba. So big deal they didn't say Bercha Torah. They said Avarabba, that's the Kasha of Mogen Gibarim. And there's a beautiful teretz that the one hoisafa Bercha Torah has over Avarabba is you daven that your children should be successful in Limud Torah in Bercha Torah v'ni anachnu v'tzetzoinu. So I said to myself, Mogen Gibarim, I'm always interested who's the author of, so I look up Mogen Gibarim, sure enough, Reb Mordechai Zev Atinga. So I was happy I finally learned who it was. And then I realized, wait a second. I literally was just moiser nefesh to be at his kever. I don't think I ever said over a Mogen Gibarim in my life. And the first shir I give when I come home is who? The Mogen Gibarim. So like Rabbi Hubner mentioned, and we're saying, it's not just that we came to these kvarim. These tzaddikim, they made sure that we were here. And whatever the cheshbon was, we're taking them with us. They're going to be with us. You're going to see this week, you're going to come across Reb Chaim Falaji, you're going to come across the Shevet Musar, you're going to come across the Semichas Chachomim, you're going to come across the Mishnah Lamelech. Even though we didn't find him, we might have stepped over him. We're going to come across the Me'am Loyes, and their Torah is going to be more meaningful to you. And they're going to, but we were able to create that which Chazal says, Sif Soisav, Doivivais Bekever. Why is it when you say over Torah b'shem Amrei, Mevi Geula L'Olam? What's the pshat? Reb Schwab says an amazing thing. He said, what's Mevi Geula L'Olam? Achdos. A trip like this. We have, of course, I want to thank the Rosh Yeshiva Shlita for joining us on this trip, and he was maleh. He elevated our whole experience, just being with us, being mispal with us, leading us in the tefillos, and we enjoyed having him, and it was a kavod to have him, and his talmidim, and Rabbi Hubner, and all the chashuva participants. So this is Achdus. We have different streams in Klal Yisrael, and we all come together, basically, to learn Torah, to connect with the tzaddikim. What's the greatest Achdus? The greatest Achdus is learning together. When you say over Torah b'shem Amrei, like this, if the tzaddik is not alive, Sif Soisav Doivivais. Alachas kama v'kama, says Rav Shab. What if the tzaddik is alive and you say over his Dvar Torah b'shmai? So your mouth and his mouth are talking at the same time, the same Dvar Torah. What Sifsois of Doivos is only if the person's not alive? Kol shekain if he's alive. So the ultimate achdus in Klal Yisrael is when you say over Dvar Torah in someone else's name. So that's what this trip is all about. So I want to continue to be mevarich everybody. Be'ez Hashem, we should come together for Git Zachen. We should come together for Limud Torah, for Kiddush Shem Shamayim. We should hear from each other only b'suras Toivos. And Be'ez Hashem, we should be doing Nesiyah Kedosha be'Eretz Yisrael, b'Yushalayim, v'Yas Glatstein, M'her v'Yaminu. Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.